Hey, everybody. This is Eleanor with Eleanor's Elite Radio. Today's a very wonderful day for me. All of you who know that I have a Facebook page called TV Addicts, and it's about anything we watch on television that we're totally obsessed with. Well, recently I've been introduced to the 90 Day Fiancé. And when I tell you it's binge-worthy, it is absolutely that plus more. There are so many different people that are on from different countries that come here on a K-1 visa to get married. And if in 90 days they don't get married, they have to go back to their country, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, today I'm so happy because I have Alari with me, who's also known as Tasha, who is Eric's, Rosenbrook's daughter. Eric, and is it Lydia? Is that how you pronounce her name? Lita. Okay. It's Lita and Eric is the couple. And basically there was a huge blowout the other night when Lita asked Alari to leave the house that was in her name. Anyway, I have her here with me today, and I hope you're all kind and you'll welcome Alari with me today. Hey, Alari, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Very well. I have to say, you are a very mature young lady. You really hold your own. I don't think at my age, which is like 50, blah, 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 that I don't think I would have had the patience to hold myself together as well as you did. Now, let's give everybody a little background. First of all, it's your biological dad who's on 90 Day Fiancé, correct?
Correct.
I love how you refer to him as bio dad. I love it. And
yeah.
You were living in that apartment, correct?
Yes.
And then Lita came over from Indonesia, correct?
Correct.
All right. And then I guess she was going to move in with your dad, and your dad basically, to what America saw, that he or she said you would have to leave.
Yes.
Okay. So you want to elaborate a little bit more on that?
Sure. So one thing that is still kind of confusing, I guess, to most viewers, it was kind of a difficult situation. I had lived in that apartment for almost 2 years. About a year and a half, or about a year-ish when I asked my dad to move in with me. The former people I lived with, they were a couple. They got married, had a baby, and they bought a house, so they moved out.
Right.
And then I asked my father to live with me because he was living in his car at the time. So when Lita came here, well, the months leading up to it, my dad had asked, hey, let's both look around at apartments. It wasn't sure yet until probably maybe 2 weeks before Lita arrived that he wanted me out. It was more so, but he wanted to get Lita in America and go, okay, let's see who can find a place first. If Lita and I find a place first, then we'll move out. If you find a place first, then you move out. That's what it was.
That's what it originally was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not set in stone that either of us would really be out by the time she got there. It was, let's both look around and whoever finds a place, basically.
Right.
Yeah. So, and then after she, sorry.
Go ahead, dear.
Sorry. After she arrived is when they both were like, all right, you gotta go. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. Now, are you still there?
No.
No, you left.
Yes, they did actually end up kicking me out.
Wow. Now, what strikes me very funny, maybe not funny, but a little borderline sad, because that is your dad. Let's face it. I know you don't want to call him your father or anything, but he is your biological dad. And he was staying in his car, and I kind of think that's a little sad because you ultimately brought him into your home.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And that's very sad. It's sad on so many levels because you, are the younger daughter, 20 years old. Am I correct about your age?
Yes.
Okay. So you're a 20-year-old young lady, who has an apartment in her name, invited her dad in to stay. And then, what transpired. I mean, that's very sad, honey. Don't you think so? I mean, that's why I'm so proud of you. We are so team Tasha or team Alari, in my TV addicts group. Everybody loves you. There isn't one person that ever has a negative or a bad word to say about you, because you really handled yourself so nicely when you went in and you introduced yourself and you were sorry. You explained, anyway, I don't know. It just blows my mind that a parent can be so irresponsible, and just blows my mind. I can't imagine what it does to you, but anyway. All right. So do you know what are Lida's plans? When her family came and when they left, her father had said, make sure she goes to medical school, if anything else, to complete her medical degree. But yet all I see on Instagram are her modeling pictures and her boudoir photo shoot and video. Yeah. So, I mean, let's face it. Who's she bullshitting? She's not going to go to medical school. She wants to be an Instagram whore. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, I mean, I have not heard her talk about wanting to be a doctor in America for a very long time. Honestly, I haven't heard her talk about it for a really long time. So whether she does or not is kind of still up in the air. But I know she does like cosplaying. But for the most part, it does kind of seem like she does want to be an Instagram whore.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm seeing too, because, I'm reading so many conflicting stories. She was a medical assistant, and according to Indonesia, you only have to go to medical school 4 years just to be a nurse. So was she a nurse? Did she graduate medical school? There's such a, gray area. Everybody's so confused with what the real deal is.
Yeah, no, I understand that. She in Indonesia, as far as I know, I obviously haven't seen her degree. She did graduate in Indonesia, but she's going to need to go back to school in America in order to be an actual doctor, because she's only the equivalent to a registered nurse right now.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So I guess maybe that's what her dad meant when her dad said, let her make sure she goes back to school to finish her degree. Anyway, I don't know. Nobody likes her either. I don't know. She came here, I think, with such high hopes, and I don't know if she's faced reality of what she's really dealing with how everybody dislikes her and your bio dad,
Right.
I mean, how difficult must that be, having a stepmom who's how much older is she than you?
9 years.
9 years older. Oh.
Yeah.
And between you and I...
until her birthday, but
yeah,
roughly 9 years.
And your dad, not for nothing, please don't take offense, but I don't know what happened to him, and I know you said there might be some issues in his past life he was dealing with, but he looks like a 75-year-old man. He does. I don't know how the man could be 40 years old. I don't get it. He looks horrible for his age, and I think he might have lived, maybe a very deviant lifestyle beforehand. I don't want to get into that because that's personal shit on your dad's side, But I don't know. I just don't get the whole thing. I don't. But they are the most intriguing couple on there, I have to say. So tell us a little bit about what you like to do. Let's make this a little bit on an upside. What is it you like to do?
I like to do a lot of things for hobbies. I'm an artist. I've actually been writing a book for almost 4 and 5-ish, going around 5 years now. I've been writing a book. I don't work on it as often as I would like to, because I do have other hobbies and obviously a job and everything. But I'm hoping to get that published someday. I do cosplay design. I just go out and cosplay. I don't make all my costumes. Mm-hmm. I do buy some of them, and I go out and I go to conventions and whatnot, and into that kind of stuff.
Now, let me ask you, what is your book about? Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. So it's... I've never been good at giving synopsises without spoiling the whole thing, so let's see if I can work this masterpiece.
Just give us a gist. Is it boy meets girl, girl meets boy, they get, is it no. No, okay. Is it based...
Well, it takes place
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
It takes place in Germany, but during the same time that we are having the Salem witch trials here in America, but it takes place in Germany. So it's about a princess and a witch, essentially.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's wonderful. So it's more fantasy or sci-fi or both.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit of both. So basically, you want to put it out there that, once you get done, you're going to look for a publisher and get that book published. Yes?
Yeah, absolutely. It's actually sad. I was a lot farther. I'm only in chapter 2 right now. I was actually a lot farther a few years ago, but I write the book on Google Drive, and I had it backed up to like 4 flash drives, but every time I move, I end up losing one. And then 2 years ago, I went to work on my book, and Google Drive had deleted the entire thing.
Oh, my word. That's so hard, disheartening. Yeah, I know that feeling very well, honey. I know that's got to be crushing. All right, so now, now when you say that you design cosplay, I'm not really a cosplay person. I know there are, big events that go on, like for us here in Orlando, generally. They have Comic-Con, they have this con, that con, and I'm not really generally into that. So what is it when you say you design? Do you make the costumes? You sew them? Are you that talented that you can sew those? I mean, really, that's a talent to be able to do that.
Yes. So I technically can't say I apologize. I said that earlier. I technically cannot say I design the cosplays because I don't do my own. I take the character and I do sew them. I sew the fabrics together and I make the costumes.
Wow.
But I do have a couple of designs in my design book that I haven't sewn together yet of my own fashion style, my own line of fashion and stuff.
Right.
That I'm hopefully I'll be able to get going sometime. But yes, so I do make cosplays.
Now,
and I make costumes for Renaissance stuff.
Oh, how wonderful. Do me a favor. Give a couple of your addresses or links or ways people can get in touch with you if they have any desire to kind of get in touch with you, either book related or maybe costume related or whatever related. Just get, how could somebody get in touch with you? Phone number, Instagram, Facebook, how?
So I have 2 Instagram accounts. I have my personal one, and then I have my cosplay specific one. My personal one is Alari, spelled Alari, and then _Tasha _Rosenbrook. And then my cosplay account is Alari _cosplay and _couture. So it's a bit of a mouthful, but I also have a Facebook for my cosplay page. I have a Facebook page called Alari Styles and Couture. And I do have a Patreon. I just set it up, I think, yesterday or the day before. So it's fairly new. I do have one Patreon as of right now. You can find me on Patreon at Alari Stark. Otherwise, in my Instagram account, on both accounts, I have a link in my bio that will take you to any of these handles. So my Facebook, my Patreon, my Sarah, which is just a place you can anonymously send me messages and stuff like that.
And I also wrote a blog, and basically that blog, after we do the interview and I post the interview, I will also flood Facebook and your blog as well. And all of her links and information and addresses will be in that blog too. So you don't have to really worry in case you missed it today. It'll be in the blog that will be posted on Eleanor's Elite Radio Facebook page. So anyway, I don't know, there's so many questions I have. I have a couple from a couple of my moderators from my group. One of them is someone read in another group that Cohen isn't really Lita's last name. She just wants people to think that she's of the Jewish persuasion, so they'll think she has money and is rich, which that statement alone is so insane, but I wouldn't put it past her. So is that her real last name?
I actually don't know. So the Cohen part comes from Cohenstein. I don't know anything about any of that culture stuff. I don't know if she just wants you to believe that or if that actually was her last name. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have an answer for that question. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. No, I mean, this is why, I wanted to do the interview. I wanted to, just talk to you and chit-chat. Now, what about Cohen Rosen Production Company? That's what she did her boudoir video with. Now, is that something your dad kind of came up with, do you know? Or do you not have any information on that either?
So I actually didn't know Cohen Rosen Production Company was a thing, but I know she has a page called Cohen Rosen. I